What do you think in general is the role of a staff member at your school? What are you doing there? When the children are learning for themselves and to initiate their own things, what are you doing there?
Well, God, I think whatever you need to be doing. Sometimes it means that you're intervening in a serious situation. Sometimes it means you're cleaning the bathrooms. Maybe that one shouldn't have been at the top of the list. It involves administering the school, running the school, making sure that we'll be here tomorrow and next year, and that could be anything from working on outreach to the various clerkships and jobs that we have to do. One of my favorite things about being at this school is that I never know what a day is going to bring, and it can be so exciting and so devastating, and so, anything can happen. And for me, that just makes it an incredibly exciting experience.
Everyone in the school has an equal vote in running the school, but the obligations on the staff are much greater than on the students. Because of the fact that we get paid by the school meeting, I certainly feel like we have an obligation to look at everything that needs to happen in order for the school to operate in the best way that it can, and make sure that everything that needs to get done gets done.
So long as a staff member is passionate about the philosophy and willing to do the work of the school to keep the school going on a day-to-day basis, because there's no principal, there's no school secretaries, there's no custodian, there's no school nurse, there's no janitor. It's staff members at the school. They do everything. And if you're interested in that kind of work, then it can be for me, it's been very fulfilling. I've learned about all different kinds of things. I mean, not only about education, but about administration, how to run a school, how to run a business, because that's what, it's also a business as well.
And then there are other things which are more long-term, but at the same time less tangible than the strict administration of the school. For example, ongoing conversations with kids about what they want to get from their lives, what they want to get from the school. A lot of times, for example, a student will express some dissatisfaction with something, and if the opportunity is there to really talk about it and to maybe help them to see the problem in a bigger context and to figure out some way that they can comfortably deal with it, I feel like that's an important role as well.
It's not our role to push kids in any certain direction, or to be, we're not salespeople aggressively trying to attract students to a certain place or a certain thing, but we're very available as resources. We're sort of tools for them to be able to get what they want.
Staff members can't really be sitting around and thinking about, oh, well, wouldn't it be great if there were this class or that? I mean, the staff members are busy enough already. They don't need to initiate classes. I mean, that would just be like adding to their workload. Nor do staff members really want to sit around and take the time to initiate classes, because, yeah, I could initiate 200 classes at my school, but who's to say that anyone's going to show up at those classes? And those are my interests. Maybe I want to have like American, I was a history major in school, and maybe I want to have an American history class and a Chinese history class and a German history class, and and I could initiate 1,000 classes. But that's me, and I'm one person at the school, and maybe no one else shares my interest in history. So for me, it's a waste of time, really.
A lot of times, staff members work as a sort of a learning consultant. Somebody who has a particular thing that they're interested in understanding or learning, and the staff member a lot of times is not so much an instructor, although sometimes that happens also, but very often they're a resource that helps the student to figure out methods that they can use to pursue that interest on their own.
Is it sometimes difficult for you as a staff member to not to intervene in the activity the children choose to do, or do you feel it hard to maybe restrain yourself?
I don't think so. I tend to be really. I mean, I think that the place where that's hardest for a lot of people is on things related to safety, and for the most part, if a kid is engaged in something, I don't think that any of us are interested in going and pulling them away from what they're doing and getting them to do something else. But I think that sometimes things seem dangerous to us, or seem very disrespectful to us is another issue. And on the whole, my tolerance for those things is pretty high.
I know for me, sometimes somebody will be engaged in something that I'll be really interested in. And that's when I find myself wondering, oh, well, should I go? And in a sense, it is intervening. Should I go and try to participate in this in some way, or should I just leave that person alone to do their whole process? And so I think sometimes I wrestle with that a little bit.
How are the relationships between the students and the staff members?
Completely equal. I treat my friends the same as I treat staff members. The staff members are my friends. Completely, it isn't separated at all. Play with the staff members, go to the staff members as friends, talk to them. There's no separation whatsoever in our school.
I think another aspect of it is that we're also role models for what it can be like to be an adult in our culture, and what adults think about and what they value and how they act when they're having an argument with each other, all those kinds of things.
And I think one of my other roles is to really try to be authentically, as much as I can, who I am for the kids, because I think that's why they elected me and not somebody else, was because they wanted me. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out who I am to offer at any given moment, and how to share that, and be there for them, and have good relationships.